Welcome to the second session of this one. That is virtual internship on computational fluid dynamics. Now, this second session, actually, it is the first section, first laboratory session. Okay, lab session one. And one more thing I want to tell you here, while conducting this laboratory, I am using ANSYS software, and in ANSYS, I am going to start from scratch. Okay, that means whatever things required for fluid flow and heat transfer analysis, that everything I am going to cover. Okay, that means from CFD modeling or for modeling for the CFD, that is domain development. Okay, then meshing also I am going to cover in detail. Then solver we are using as a fluent, and every aspect of this solver we are going to discuss, and I'm going to show you different simulations. Okay, also we will practice on modeling, meshing, solver, and post processing also. Okay, now this is the first session, and if you have doubt during any step, you can ask me to repeat, or you can ask me for explanation or detailed explanation also. Okay, now this is the first session. In this session you will learn these things, that is we will introduce the ANSYS. Now that in last session you have seen the capability of the ANSYS. Here I will show you what is actual ANSYS and how it is used for fluid flow simulation. Okay, now next we will discuss the ANSYS workbench and what is ANSYS design modeler, which is required for developing the model. Now design modeler in interface, what are the properties in the design modeler, okay, or geometric properties, how we can connect the CAD with the solver or with the meshing, that we will discuss. Next we will discuss different concepts related to the design modeler. Next, if we have geometry or model having different parts, then how we can manage these parts. Okay, that I will show you. Now next one is a named selection. Now here in CFD we need to give the name, or for meshing also, for controlling the mesh we need to separate out the different parts or different domains of the geometry, and that domains we can use named selection for extracting the that domains or for selecting that domains. Next, what is a shared topology, that also I will discuss. Okay, now before going to start this session, I will tell you how to open the ANSYS. Okay, and ANSYS workbench. Now here you click on the start in, if you have shortcut on your desktop, that is also okay. Click on the start. You have ANSYS. I am using 2020 as a ANSYS version. Okay, and release 1. Now in ANSYS, just click on this ANSYS 2020 R1. Okay, then you go to the last option in this workbench. Okay, click on this and wait for the opening of this ANSYS workbench. Okay, why we have to wait? Because it is a big software and it will take some time for different operations or for loading the software. So uh, you wait for completion of each and every operation. Okay, you click on this ANSYS workbench. Okay, and that will open in this format, in this form, that is, this is your ANSYS workbench, or it is unsaved project ANSYS workbench, or just workbench. Next, there is a analysis system. Now what are the contents of that, I will show you here. Now you can see here this is the overall process. First you have to create the geometry, or you can import the geometry from the modeling software, then clean the geometry in CFD, we need a rigorous repair of the geometry, because imported geometry from the CAD software or developed geometry from design modeler, it has lots of errors. That errors you have to remove. That means you have to repair the geometry. After that, if parameterization is there, that means optimization is there, you have to select the optimization parameters. Now this is related to the mechanical handling of mechanical problems, and then you have CFD modeling. Okay, now this is the overall process. Now ANSYS Workbench is a project management tool. How it is project management tool, I will tell you. See here, if we go to this, you have a lot of analysis systems. You have a lot of analysis systems, that is coupled field, transient, design assessment, everything, or a lot of things are there that we will discuss in our presentation. Okay, now you can see here. So all things related to the project are managed in the ANSYS Workbench. That means if we do the simulation project based on the simulation, it requires the geometry, it requires the meshing. Okay, it requires the solvers. Then again, it requires the coupling between different solvers or different results. That means if we consider the fluid structure interaction, then these type of project managements can be done by the ANSYS Workbench. Okay, now it can be considered as a top level interface linking up all our software tools. All our software tools means, already I have told you here, geometry, mesh, solver, all the things are linked in Workbench project. Okay, Workbench handles the passing of data between ANSYS geometry, mesh, solver, and post processing tools. As it is linking between all these tools, that means it is going to pass the data from geometry to the mesh, mesh to the solver, and solver to the post processing tools. Okay, how it is going to do that, we will see in actual problems. Okay, this greatly helps project management. Graphically, you can see all the things at a glance, how a project has been built. That means everything related to your project you can see in the ANSYS Workbench. Okay, Workbench can manage the individual application and pass the data between them. That means it can manage individual application, individual tool like geometry, mesh, and pass the data between them. So it is easy to perform the design studies. Design studies means optimization studies. That is a parametric analysis. Okay. So in ANSYS, we can perform the parametric analysis or optimization with the help of this ANSYS Workbench. Okay, now how to open ANSYS Workbench, already I have told you. You just go to the ANSYS, click on ANSYS, whatever version you have, and open the Workbench from that. Okay, now next one, this is a Workbench overview. Already I have shown you. I will explain this in detail here. Now see here there is an analysis system. That means this analysis system are ready-made stencils that include all the individual systems applications needed for common analysis. For example, geometry plus mesh plus solver plus post processing, it is included in these analysis systems. Okay, now this component system are the individual building blocks. That means if we need the what we can say, if we need geometry or mesh or solver or post processor for any analysis system, okay, that individual block we can open from the component system. That means geometry we can open from the component system, mesh we can open from the component system. Okay, the options visible in the toolbox show all the products you have license for it. That means if we consider the analysis system, these analysis systems which you have license, that all things you will get in your block. Okay. Next, design exploration. It provides the tools for optimizing the designs and understanding the parametric response. You have to remember this. I will show you it on ANSYS. Now you see here on ANSYS. See here if I hide all the things, you see here whether my screen is visible or not, whether these options are visible. You tell me.
Yes, sir.
This is analysis system. Next is component system. Next is custom system and design exploration. And this is ACT. Okay. Now we have more focus on this analysis system, component system, okay, and design exploration we need for parametric study or for optimization. Okay, you can see here in analysis system. See here, if I expand this analysis system, I can expand this by clicking on this plus sign which is in front of the analysis system. I will click on this. Here you have lots of tools available for doing the different analysis. That means it is a coupled field static, coupled field transient. Next, you have explicit dynamics, fluid flow extrusion, fluid flow CFX, fluid flow CF, fluent. Here we are using this fluent solver. Okay. Now these are related to the different domains, that is for static, structural, mechanical domain. Okay. Now if you open any of the system from this, you have geometry, mesh, plus solver and post processor. Everything you will get in this analysis system. That means all the things are inbuilt in this analysis system. Okay. Next one, component system. Here, if you want to expand the component system, again you click on this plus sign. Here you will get the individual component which are required for analysis. Okay. Now you can see here if you want to develop the geometry, you will get geometry here. If you want to develop the mesh, you will get mesh here. If we open the mesh, you will get geometry also in that mesh. Okay. Now these are the different individual components which are required for analysis system. See here it is ACP post, ACP pre. These are required for composite analysis. Okay. This is engineering data. It is required for assigning the material properties, but not necessary to open all the things from here. You can open directly analysis system which you want to do the analysis, and in that you will get these inbuilt things. Okay. Now these are the different analysis systems, and here design exploration, it is for parametric design. Okay. Now next one is a basic workflow. Now see here what I have written here, static structure is included in your workbench. Now see here, dragging an analysis system onto the project schematic lays out a workflow comprising all the steps needed for the typical analysis. Okay, that I will show you in actual analysis. Workflow is from top to bottom. Okay, as each stage is complete, the icon at right side of the right hand side it changes. Okay, that I will show you. See here you have static structural image, engineering data, geometry, model, setup, solution, results, everything you will get here. Okay. Now in ANSYS, what you will get, whether this I am changing screen from PPT to ANSYS. Is there any problem while changing the screen from PPT to the ANSYS workbench? If you have problem, then I will reduce my speed. Yes, your involvement is very important for me.
No problem, sir.
Okay. Yusuf, is there any problem? Yusuf?
No, no problem.
Okay. Now I will open the ANSYS because I have to show both the things simultaneously. Otherwise, you will not get the idea of this one. Okay. Now I will open the ANSYS workbench. Now see here, I will expand this analysis system, and in that I will uh, add this fluid flow fluent in the project schematic. How we can add this fluid flow fluent in project schematic? You just press the left mouse button, and when we press left mouse button on the analysis system, you will get one green dotted rectangle in a project schematic. Okay, hold that left mouse button and drag your project schematic, drag that system on your project schematic. Okay, that will be added in your project schematic, and you wait for addition. See here there should be ready message, then you can go for next one. Now you see here in front of this there is no tick mark, green tick mark. I will explain the meaning of all these marks. Here this is a question mark, this is also question mark, this is also question mark, this is also question mark, this is question mark, this is a dark question mark, and this is a hollow question mark, we can say. Okay, or this is a solid question mark, and this is a hollow question mark. What is meaning of all these question marks, that I will show you. Before going to that, I will add one more type of analysis. Suppose static structural. If I add here static structural, you can add any number of analysis in your single project. You see here you have engineering data that is related to the static structural, but here we don't have engineering data. Okay, through engineering data we are going to add the material properties, but in case of fluid flow fluent, we are adding the material properties in setup. Here we are adding the material properties in engineering data, so here you will get one additional term. Okay, and one more thing I want to tell you, here you have one green tick. Meaning of green tick is that step is completed. Okay, how it is completed? Because by default ANSYS static structural will take steel as a default material. Okay, structural steel as a default material, so it is showing this step as a completed step. Okay, now in this way we can add the different tools or different analysis systems in your project schematic. Okay, now next one I will explain the meanings of different this marks. Now here okay, I have explained one way. Other way we can go from this type of options also. You see here, however, an analysis can equally well prepared by selecting the individual component system also. Okay, that needed for the analysis system and then linking them together. Okay, you can see here from component system I have added geometry in project schematic. Okay, now after adding the project geometry in project schematic, I have added the mesh, that is also from the component system. Okay, and this geometry is shared with the mesh. Next, here there is the addition of fluent, and in addition of the fluent, mesh is shared with the fluent setup, and then this is a CFD post, that is the results. That also I will show you on ANSYS how it is going to work. You see here in ANSYS workbench, I will go to the component system. In component system, here first I add the geometry. You can see here I will add the geometry. Okay, now here you will get only geometry. Okay, now you can complete the geometry here, you can complete the model here. After completing the model, you have to mesh the model, that means you develop the CFD model. Okay, now mesh is added in your project schematic. Now you want to share this geometry with the mesh, so you right click here, sorry, not right, left click here, drag your mouse pointer and share with the geometry of the mesh. You can see here you will get the one linkage between this geometry and this mesh. Again you can add the solver here. I will add solver here. Now you share the setup, sorry, mesh with the setup. Here mesh data is transferred to this setup. You can see here this data is transferred to the setup. Now you can add the any other things also, like CFD post. Where is CFD post? Okay, in this version, I think this Fluent setup will show the results, not necessary to open the CFD post. Okay. Now you can see here you can see this one. Now same thing I have done on the ANSYS workbench. Okay, you can connect the results also. Use here, and I will share this solution with the results. You can see here. Now in this way we can do the addition of different tools in our workbench project. Here you will get all the things. You can see here you will get all the things, that is Fluent, geometry, mesh, setup, solution, results. You can do by any way. Okay. Now next one, this is the meaning of different symbols on this right side. You can see here, if there is a green tick, that means it is up to date. Up to date means you can go for next step. First step is geometry. You can go for the next step. Next is a refresh required. This type of green arrows are showing, then its meaning is refresh is required. Then this one is update is required. Update is required, or it is a local data has changed and we need to update. That means if we want to create the geometry, you have done the one operation, and if you go back and if you have modified that operation, then we need to update this. Okay. Now this is unfulfilled, needs to upstream the data. Okay, needs to add some data for this. Okay, and this is attention required. We need to provide more attention on this type of symbol, that is a bold question mark. Next, this is a solving, that means process is going on, and this type of symbol, it is update failed. You need to do the modification in input which you have given. Now this is update interrupted, and here it shows the changes pending, was up to date but upstream data has changed. Okay, means these are the symbols, meanings of the symbols. You have to check which symbol is with your project schematic, and according to that symbol you have to work. Okay. Now sharing the data, already I have shown you sharing the data, how that data is shared with one tool to the another tool. Here we can share the data from one solver to the another solver also. If you have fluid structure interaction problem on the fluid structure interaction, we will see that in our course. Okay, if you have this type of projects are there, then we can share this geometry as well as solution with the setup. That means you see here you will get the two types of marks. One is square mark and one is a circular mark. Here square connector shows the geometry created in cell A2. A2 is, this is A, this one is a B. Here A2 cell, the geometry created in this A2 is shared with the geometry required for B. Okay. Now this round cursor or round connector, which shows the results of the CFD, are transferred to the setup which is required for structural analysis. Okay, that is for stress analysis. Now here also I have shown some sharings. You can see here, you see here by sequence you will get the names, that is A, B, C, D. Here geometry in the C cell is shared with the mesh or B, second component of the D. Okay, now this mesh is shared with this E. Okay, this type of sharing you will get. Okay, next one. Now while if you want to save the file in ANSYS, here you have to use archive or restore. Why you have to use archive or restore, I will tell you. Here when we create the, or when we do complete the project in ANSYS workbench, it contains so many files, and without these files your project will not open in new system, that means in other system. Okay, so you need to save all these files. Okay, so what you have to do while saving all these files, you have to use archive tool. You can see here file archive means it is going to save all the things. Okay, and it will generate the single zip file of the entire project. When archiving, you can choose whether to include the computer result files or not. Okay, that options you will get here. Okay, you can try yourself also. Now here why this is required. If you want to send all these files for any technical query, for any support to any person, then it is very important. And one more thing I want to tell you here, you have to complete your projects and you have to share with me as a zip file. Okay, now next one, working with the parameters. Working with the parameters, you can see here, to make changes you can manually open up component cell. That means if you want to make the changes in any of the component, that means if you want to make the change in the geometry, if you want to make it change the mesh, then you can open individual component, you can open geometry, you can open the mesh component also. Most workbench applications let you specify key quantities as a parameter. A new object parameters set appears on the project. You see here parameters are there. Here we can add the optimization parameters. Optimization parameters, that means values of lower limit, upper limit, these type of parameters you can add through the parameters. Okay, you then need to update your model. If you change this parameter, then you have to go for updating of the model. From workbench you can choose to then update the entire project. That means here you see here yellow marks are there. Here there is a refresh and there are update symbols. Okay, you use update symbol or update button for updating the projects. Here refresh reads the upstream data but will not do any lengthy operation like solving or meshing. Here update performs both refresh and generates the new output. Okay, update projects will then work through each component in turn geometry mesh solver to compute the new design point. However, you may want to update an individual component. For example, to preview the new geometry before proceeding, right click on individual cell and select the update option. Okay, clicking here at this location will let you modify the parameters centrally without having to open the individual application. So here if you have one shaft and if you have defined parameters for this, or if you have one pipe or you have defined parameters for this as a diameter. Okay, parameter means it has a limits. Okay, then not necessary to go in design modeler for changing the diameter limits. You can modify from parameter also. Okay, next one. Now this is about the ANSYS workbench. Now I will go to the design modeler. Okay, now in design modeler I will cover overview of the design modeler. Here this is a design modeler is a tool for importing CAD models for pre-processing before engineering analysis, for geometry for simplification or modification of the modification and preparation for the meshing, for parametric feature based modeling. Now see here we are importing the CAD model. We can develop the CAD model also. Okay, now this CAD model is requirement of the preprocessor of engineering analysis. Here for geometry simplification modification we use different tools from the design modeler. Now for parametric feature based modeling we have to use parameters in the design modeler. You see here this is a sketch and this is a 3D model and this is a CAD import and we need to clean this CAD. Okay, now application fundamentals. Two basic modes of operation for the geometry creation, that is a 2D sketching and 3D modeling. Okay, where are that and how we can access that I will show you. Now dedicated tools for import and cleanup. Okay, here you have These facilities available in the design modeler. Okay. Now you see here how we can open the design modeler. From analysis system also we can open the design modeler, or from component system. Okay, how we can launch the design modeler. Okay, now I will show you how we can launch the design modeler. Again I will go back to the this one. Now I will delete all the things and I will just keep, you just right click on that name and delete it. It is deleted. I will delete this fluid flow prevent also. Okay, I will cancel it. I will delete mesh, this mesh. See here, if you want to open the design modeler, okay, before that, if you are doubt till this, you can ask me. Okay, I will issue the command and then we will go. Now for open the design modeler or workbench or environment for modeling the geometry or repairing the geometry, what you have to do, you right click on the geometry here. Right click on the geometry here and click on new design modeler. See here, every time you have to right click on that, otherwise it will go in the space claim. If you double click on it, it will go in the space claim. Okay, and see here, right click here, your second option is new design modeler. Okay, first option is new space claim geometry. Don't go for new space claim geometry. I am not using this new space claim geometry. I am using design modeler. Okay, so I have to open this design mod by using design modeler. If you have added only geometry tool in your workbench, then also you have to follow the same procedure. Right click and new design modeler. Okay, now here I will open, right click, new design modeler. Okay, now see here you will get the red bulb and it is showing the message starting design modeler. Okay, starting design modeler till it becomes green, that means it will open new window for design modeler. You have to work on this, that new window. Okay, is there any doubt till opening? I will share if you, I will discuss the doubts. Is there any doubt in this content?
Sir, please repeat that last part.
Last part. Okay. Here, if you want to open the design modeler, whatever is here it is opened. Okay. If you want to open the design modeler, okay, I will close this and I will show you. What you have to do, you right click on this and click on new design modeler. Right click and click on new design modeler. For this also, right click on this and click on new design modeler. Okay. Now I will open from here, right click, new design modeler. Okay, now we will wait for opening of design modeler. It has opened. 1 minute. Okay, now this is the window for the design modeler. Okay, this design modeler is open. Now have you got it now? Have you got? Yes or
Yes.
no? Okay. Now you can see here this is the design modeler interface. Okay, this I am showing on the PPT, and same interface you will get when we do this different operations. Okay, now here these are the toolbars on the top. Okay, and there are menu bars also. Okay, and this is a tree outline, and there are two modes. One is a sketching mode and one is modeling mode. Okay, that is known as mode tabs. This is a details view. Here we are giving the properties, that is dimensions to the geometric entities. Okay, this is a graphics window, and this is entity details bar, and here you are getting the unit display, and this is a status bar ready. Okay, now same thing you will get on this also. You can see here there are default three planes, x, y, y, z and zx, and I have not done any operation, so it is showing blank. Okay, now here below this there is a details view. These are the tools, different tools which we can use for completion of the geometry. Now this is a model view, this is a print view. Okay, print preview. What is print preview, that we will discuss later. Okay, now here you will get the units, different units. Now I will do one demo, and then we'll go for the design modeler. Okay, now see here in demo what we are going to do. See here we are going to set the units in millimeter. We are going to set the units in millimeter. We are going to draw the rectangle of 50 by 50 on XY plane. Okay, and that we are going to extrude in Z direction up to 15 millimeter. Okay, now how we can do this I will show you. Now I will go back to the design modeler. Okay, now first we have to set the units. Now for that purpose you have to go for this one. Here there is one unit menu. Click on that unit menu. Select the millimeters. Okay, select the millimeters. Now here you will get this roller. Here your unit will be changed. You can see here again. Select the units. If I change it to the meters, now you can see here it is from 0 to 30 meters, because I have selected meters unit. If I change from meter to millimeter, it will change from 0 to 70 millimeter. Okay, repeating this. Now next is, you see here you have first we have set the units millimeter. We have to draw the rectangle on XY plane. How we can select the XY plane? You see here by default it is selected, but it is in isometric view mode, so you are not getting this orientation as per our requirement. For getting the orientation as XY plane, you right click on this. When we right click on this, you will get this your coordinate system with this origin. Okay, and there is one option, look at. When we right click on that, you will get one option, look at. When we click on that look at, your orientation will be XY plane. You can see here you have triad that we will get here. Now you can see here, if we click on this one ball or one spherical symbol, okay, at this location, it will be in isometric view form. This is your XY plane, and this is your Z axis. That is, this is X axis, Y axis and Z axis, and this arrow indicates the positive direction of XYZ axis. Okay, now if you want to orient your screen or your window as a XY plane, right click on this and click on look at page. Now your orientation is in XY plane. Okay, now you have to draw the rectangle. Now here, for drawing the rectangle, see here now there are two modes. One is a sketching mode and one is a modeling mode. Now your mode selected is modeling. Okay, modeling is for three-dimensional entities, and sketching mode is for two-dimensional entities. Okay, so your rectangle is coming under the two-dimensional entity, So you have to activate the sketching mode. Okay, so you go to the sketching, now here there are different options in the sketching. First is draw, next is modify, dimensions, constraints, and setting. Okay, now here your rectangle you will get in the draw option. Okay, now you see here you can draw this line, tangent line, line by two tangents, everything we will use in different demos. Okay, here we need the rectangle, so I am going to show you rectangle. Okay, now here you have rectangle option. Now click on this rectangle option, if we select here auto fillet, it will create the fillets automatically, but we don't want that fillets. Now after selecting the rectangle option, after clicking on this rectangle, you move your mouse pointer in a graphic user interface. Now your mouse pointer will be changed from regular mouse pointer to the pencil like mouse pointer. Okay, now you move uh, your mouse pointer near to the origin. Now when we move on it on axis, you will get the C symbol. Here it may not be visible for you, but when you practice on it, it will be visible. Okay, even it is on axis, it will showing C symbol. When you move on origin, it will convert that C symbol to the P symbol. That means P means that your mouse pointer is coincide with your origin. Okay, okay. Now if you want to draw the rectangle at which is starting from the origin, okay, you just click at the origin when you find P symbol and drag your or move your mouse pointer, not drag, you just you just move your mouse pointer away from the origin, and where you want second corner, at that location you just click left mouse button of left mouse button. Okay, it will complete the rectangle. Okay, have you got it? Have you got it? Okay,
Yes, sir.
now next one, see here, this rectangle we have drawn, now we have to give the dimensions to that. This actually this is a square of 50 by 50, so we have to give the 50 by 50 dimensions. For giving the 50 by 50 dimensions, you go to the dimension, here. After draw there is a modify, and after that there is a dimension. You go to the dimension. Okay, now you select the general option from the dimension, and you move your mouse pointer near to the edge of the rectangle. When we move our mouse pointer near to the edge of the rectangle, our symbol will be changed. Okay, now when it is on the line, that line will be selected, or it is on the edge, that edge will be selected, and your symbol is showing white arrow plus one rectangle. Okay, now click at that location. Now it converts to the yellow. Move your mouse pointer, it will be with our dimension line. Okay, now click at appropriate location for placing your dimension line. Now I will click here. You see here you will get the dimension line. Okay, and there is a h1 in this dimension line. H1 means it is a horizontal dimension. Okay, horizontal dimension. Now see here where we have to give the value for this h1. Here in sketching, below that sketching there is a details view, and it is showing the dimension 1, and below that dimension there is a h1. Okay, in front of h1, that is a 71.208, that is the value of h1, that is the length of that line. Okay, now if you want to give this length as a 50 millimeter, you click on that number and enter the value as per your problem definition. Okay, now this is a 50 millimeter, now h1. Okay, after that again you are in this dimension option in general mode. You go to this line again, you select this, move your mouse, place at location. Now it is showing V, and its length is 49.755. You need to change it. Click here and enter the 50 millimeter. Okay, now you will get the 50 by 50 rectangle. Okay, now this task we have completed, this demo we have completed. That is first two steps of that demo we have completed. Now third is extrude the sketch in positive z direction. Now how you can do this, I will show you here. Now for extruding the sketch, you have this extrude option, or you can select direct tool from here, or you can go to the create extrude. Okay. Now for this one, now you are in XY plane. It will not show extruded edge or extruded length. So you change your mode of visibility from XY plane or 2D plane to the isometric view. Okay. Now, so for changing this, you click on this sphere. Now you are in isometric view, and this direction is a positive Z direction. You can see here, this direction is your positive Z direction. Now you can use create button and select extrude. Now your modeling tab will be automatically activated. Okay. Now here in extrude there are a lot of options, but here I am not going to discuss all the options. I am going to show you only a demo of given question. Okay. Now I will apply this. Now here you have to perform the operation add material, because we are going to extrude, we are going to create the solid from the 2D sketch. Okay. And here dimensions which you want to give is 15 millimeters. So in front of this dimension, that is FD1, you enter 50 millimeter. Sorry, how much it is? 15, na? 15 millimeter. Okay, 15 millimeter. Now all these options I am going to explain in detail, but not now. Okay, when we start the actual extrude command, in that command I will explain all the options related to that extrude. Okay. Now here also this as thin surface, merge topology, everything I will explain, and there are lots of options below this also. Okay. Now here I have entered this 15 millimeter. Now you see here you will get the lightning symbol in front of your extrude option. That extrude is added because we have added that command in your tree outline. Okay. And there is a lightning symbol, means it needs to update. Okay, it needs to update or generate. Okay, so you have here generate tool. Okay, or generate icon. You click on this, or you can right click here and click on generate. Okay, now when we click on generate, it will create this 3D solid. Okay, now here we have completed our first demo. Is there any doubt in this one? Is there any doubt? Nanda Kishore, have you got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, if you got it, I will go to the next. Okay, now again I am going to show you second demo. Now what is second demo? Create a plane on the top side of the block. Create a plane on the top side of the block with x offset -25, y offset 25. Okay, and okay, first we will create the new plane on top of this. Now here this is a xy plane. Now I will select the top side or top face. Now for selection, you can see here there are different options. One is point selection, and this again I'm going to discuss in detail on later part. Now this is the face selection. We need to select the face. Now this is the top face. Okay. Now you can see here where it is. Create the new plane on top side. Okay, I'm going to select this as a top side. Now I'm going to create the new plane. For creating the new plane, you just go here, that is in XY plane location. Here by default there is xy plane. Here there are three planes xy, yz and zx, and in front of this option you have new plane creation option. Click on this, click on this. Now here you have added one plane. Now what is location of this plane? Now location of this plane, here it is a plane created from the plane, from the base plane xy plane. Now here you set the offset x in front of transformation RMB, right mouse button, okay, and here you enter the -25, okay, -25. Just minute. -25. Then next transformation in y direction. Here you need to enter the 25. Okay, this is out. This is going outside. I need to change the top plane, and here in place of xy, I am going to select. Okay, I will right click here. I will generate first. Here you will get this plane at this location, but I don't want at this location. I want at this location. So I will edit it, edit selection. Now here, okay, I will cancel it. I will delete it. Now I will select this as a top plane. Okay, then it will create. Now go to select plane. Now plane 5 is added here. Now here, sorry, till I have selected xy plane. Last time also I have selected xy plane. That's why it was showing the problem. I will select this face, create a plane. Okay, now it is okay. Now it is from face. Last time we have selected by default, it was selected from plane. Okay. Now I will use transformation. In x direction, it is -25, and in y direction, it is 25. Okay, it is just minute. Again, we are missing the plane selection. This is xy plane. This plane we have to select. I will check the isometric view. I will set this face. First face was correct. New plane. Here in x offset -25, and in y offset, now it is okay. I think it is 25. Okay, now it is okay. Now after that I will generate it. Now this plane I have created on this face. Okay, now if I go to this plane and if I click on this look at face, you will get this directions. Here y is coming like this. Okay, you can orient this like this also. Okay, now this is y direction, this is in upward direction, and this is x direction for this. Okay, now this plane we have created. After that, we have to draw the circle on y-axis having diameter 12 millimeter, and then center is 10 millimeter away from x-axis. Okay, now this is a y-axis, this vertical axis is y-axis. We have to draw the circle here. Now I will go to the sketching mode. I will set the circle and I will draw circle here. Okay, and again you go to the dimensions, select this dimension. Okay, before that I will show you here. If I go to the circle here, circle, I want to draw it on y-axis. So you move your mouse pointer here, and when that axis is selected and when you get the C symbol, at that location you click here. Okay, and move your mouse pointer away from the center, you will get the circle. Okay, after that go to the dimensions. Now select this circle and it will display the diameter. Now what is the diameter here? Diameter is 12 millimeter. Here you enter the 12 millimeter. Okay, and after that you this center should be 10 millimeter from the what we can say x-axis. This is your x-axis, and this center should be 10 millimeter. So you select the center first. This one you see here, when we click on the center, it will change its color and it becomes yellow. Now after that you press the control key, and then you select the center line. Okay, now when we select this all these things, now you are in dimensions, so it will display the dimension. You see here, this is v3. Now here in front of this one, it should be your 10 millimeter. Now you can see here, now your circle color will be changed because it is constrained properly. Okay, over. Now see here, I have created this circle. Any doubt here? If you have doubt, you can ask me. I have created the circle. After that I have to draw one rectangle here. Now how you can draw the rectangle? See here, while drawing the rectangle, one thing is given here. Draw the rectangle on the circle like this. Circle line having 50 millimeter and 8 millimeter. Include a symmetry constraint. I will show you how we can add the symmetry constraint. Okay, now this rectangle, this dimension is 15 and this dimension is 8 millimeter. So I am going to go to the draw. I will select the rectangle. Now I will click on the circle here, because this corner is on the circle. Okay, I have drawn this rectangle. Now I have to give the dimensions. Now this dimension is 15 millimeter. Here you select this dimension and you enter here value 15 millimeter. Okay, after that this dimension is 8 millimeter. 8 millimeter. Now after that you have to apply the symmetry constraint. Already it is applied, you can see here. Because of that it becomes blue. Now I will go to the how you can apply the constraint, that I will show you. Now go to the constraint here, select the symmetry. There are a lot of constraints here that we will discuss later, but in demo I will show you only this one, symmetry. Now see here you have to select the axis. I will select this axis, then this line and this line. Means these two lines are symmetric about this axis. Okay, in this way we can apply the symmetry constraint. After that, include a symmetry constraint. I have completed this. If you have doubt up to this one, you can ask me. Any doubt? Len?
Creating new plane.
Creating new plane. Okay, I will repeat again. See here, there are a lot of options for creating the new plane. I will delete all the things. I will delete this sketch. I will delete this plane. Now you are in isometric view. What happens first time? What I did, I have selected this plane, so it has selected XY plane. That's why it was created. It has created the problem. Okay. Now I want to create the plane from the face, top face. Now we have created this sketch on XY plane there, and we have extruded in this direction. So this is your top face. Okay. Now I am selecting this face. I want to create the plane on this face. Okay, I have selected this face. Now I will click the new plane. Okay, I will click the new plane. Okay, Now see here, when we click on new plane, here you will get the symbol for the new plane. That means this is the origin of this plane. Now where you want this plane, or where you want origin of this plane? I want origin of this plane in minus 25x direction. Minus
Sir.
25. That, yes, yes.
सर थोडा डिले आहे स्क्रीनमध्ये आणि तुमच्या बोलण्यामध्ये, त्यामुळे कळत नाही की कोणता ऑप्शन तुम्ही क्लिक केला.
Okay, okay. Is it necessary to repeat it? Okay, I will repeat it. Again, I will delete this plane. You see here. Here, I am going to select this option, that is a new plane. You see the my mouse pointer. Mouse pointer. Now I will select this option. Sorry, before that, okay. Before that, I have to select this face, because I am going to create the plane from face. Plane from the face. I am going to select this face. This face. Okay. Over. Now I have selected this face. This is not on the XY plane. This is on opposite side of the XY plane, because this is your XY plane. This one is your XY plane. See here, this intersection of these three axes is origin. Now I want to create the plane on this face with origin minus 25 in X direction and 25 in Y direction. 25 in Y direction. Okay. Now I am going to click here new plane. Now your origin is at this location. You can see here. Your origin is at this location. I want to create this plane minus 25 in X direction. That means it should be in this direction. You see here, this is your X axis, minus 25 in this direction. Okay. And 25, is it correct? Minus 25, now it is minus 25 in X direction and as well as minus 25 in Y direction. Why? Because it has taken this origin. Okay. So what you have to do, you go to the transform 1. Transform 1 is for X axis. Okay. Now I will set here, yes, I want to transform in X. Okay. Here it is minus 25. Now hit enter key. Now you can see here it come at center. At center. Okay, here it is. This one. Okay. At this location it came. Or offset X I have selected. So it is coming like this. Now I want to click on offset Y. Now I will go to the next transform, offset Y. Now you can see here, you can change the value after creating also. It has created my 25 here. You can see here. Okay. You can see here, it has created like this. After that, you click on generate button. Here origin is at this location, generate button. Now your plane is created at this location with this origin. Okay. Now if you want to orient your model in the direction of that plane, you right click here and click on look at. Now you are in this direction. This is your Y direction. This is your X direction. I don't want like this. I want, okay, I want Y axis vertical. Y axis vertical, you rotate this. For rotation, you press middle mouse button and move your mouse pointer. Okay. After that, you have to create the circle here. For that purpose, you move to the, you see here, your orientation. This is your Y axis, this is your X axis. Horizontal is X axis, this is your Y axis. Okay. Now go to the sketching. Select the circle here. Draw the circle on the Y axis. And its diameter is 12 millimeter. go to the dimension, select this and enter here 12 millimeter. Okay. Now its origin is 10 millimeter from the x-axis. So you go to the dimension again, select the origin, select x-axis. Now put your dimension line and enter the value 10 millimeter. Okay. After that, on the same plane, you have to draw the rectangle. Go back to the draw, select the rectangle. You move your mouse pointer on the circle. When it is coincide with a circle, it is showing C symbol. When it is showing C symbol, click left mouse button and drag your mouse pointer away from that corner and click at any location. Okay. After that, you have to give the dimensions to this rectangle. Go to dimension. Now this edge is of 15 millimeter and this edge it is of 80 millimeter. Have you got now? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now I have to use the symmetry for this. I have to apply the symmetry constraint. Now for that purpose, you go to the constraint, select the symmetry option. Next, select the axis about which you want to apply the symmetry. After selecting the axis, select the edges on which you want to apply the symmetry. Select this one and this one. What is meaning of this? Here this line and this line is symmetry for this axis. Okay. Or now after this, after application of the constraint, now next one you have to trim the edges. Trim the edges. For trimming the edges, here what I want to trim? I want to trim these edges, these intersecting edges. For trimming, you have to go for modify. Modify. In modify, there is a one option trim. Trim. Select this trim. Now you select the line which you want to trim. Here the selected line is trimmed, okay, or it is deleted. But this is coming or this half part of that line is trimmed because we have selected here, we have not selected ignore axis. If we select ignore axis, it will trim both sides of the axis. Okay. Now you can see here I have trimmed this line also. Now if I select this ignore axis and if I select this circle, then that circle will be trimmed on both sides of the axis. Okay. Now you have to this is trimmed. After that, you have to cut the material. Now for cutting the material, again I will go to the this isometric view. Now for cutting the material, you have one option that is coming inside the extrude option. Again go to the extrude. Now you select the geometry or sketch for extrude. I will select this one and click on apply. Now here in operation, you have to select the option cut material. Here in operation, in front of that operation, there is a add material. Click on this add material. You will get one arrow symbol in front of this. Click on that arrow. Here there are different operations we can do or we can perform with the help of that sketch. Now you select the cut material. Cut material. Now up to what dimensions you want to cut it. Now for that purpose, you have select the 15 millimeter because I want throughout cut. Okay. Is it 15? Yes, it is 15. It is here. This 15. Okay. For 15 millimeter and click on generate. Okay. Now you have removed the material with the help of the sketch which we have created. Now next is we have to what we have to do? We have to fillet these edges. Okay, that means you have to blend these edges with 4 millimeter radius and this inside edges with 2 millimeter radius. How we can do this? I will show you. Now I will show you in isometric view. Now for that purpose, go to create again. Create, and here you have fixed the radius blend. Fix the radius blend option. Click on this operation. Now enter here radius. First radius is 4 millimeter, and click on apply button. Now here for apply, you select these 4 edges. How you can select the 4 edges? You select first edge, then press the control button, press second edge, again press the control button, press third edge, press the control button, and select the fourth edge. That means you have to press and hold the control button for selecting all 4 edges. Okay, you have to remember this. Select the first edge, press the control button, select the second edge, again press the control button, select the third edge, press the control button, select the fourth edge. Okay, that means control button is required for selection of multiple entities. Click on apply button, and after that, after clicking on apply button, you see here there is a lightning symbol in front of this plane because we need to generate it. Okay, now when we generate it, you will get this blend. Okay, our fillets on the edges. Now you have to apply the fillets on these inner edges also. For that purpose, again you go to the create, fix the radius fillet, select this one, select this second edge. Sorry, this is not. For deselect, again you press the control button and click on that edge. Now I have to select this edge, select this third edge and fourth edge. Click on apply button. Now here you change the radius, and that radius is 2 millimeter. 2 millimeter. Now after that you generate it. Okay, you can get this type of shape. Now you can hide the sketches. You can hide the planes also. You can see here you will get the model as per. Okay, this is a demo model which I have shown. If you have doubt, you can ask me in any of the operation. Yes, any doubt? I will share this video link on WhatsApp group. If you check that video, if it is not opening, you can send me the message. Okay, and today we will stop here, and we will meet tomorrow at 1 p.m. Okay.
Okay,